Alright, we're going to go ahead and install a set of taillight lenses on a Fiero GT. Basically, the tools you're going to need is some adhesive for sealing out rain and water. You can use some blue tape if you want, and a Sharpie just to mark the plugs if you're not familiar where they go. A flathead screwdriver to pop the caps off, and a regular Phillips to take the screws holding the taillights in. I'm going to be using a power drill today. It makes it much quicker. And let's go ahead and get started. Alright, the first thing you're going to do is remove these 6 clips on the back. There's 3 on each tail light, and just go ahead with a flathead screwdriver. There's a little indentation and it'll pop those caps right off. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Alright, next, if you look down inside here, there's Phillips screw, 3 of them actually on each tail light where you just took the caps off. Go ahead and remove all 3 of these. And just a tip to make it a little bit quicker on the rest of them here, we're going to go ahead and use a power drill because it makes it so much faster. Continue taking all 6 of these screws out of here, and that's the main assembly holding the taillights in the car. And one final one here. Alright, we can take all of these out. And then we should be ready to go ahead and pull the last screw here. You'll see the tail light comes out. Fairly simple. Now, one thing you want to do is be careful taking this out. You don't scratch your bumper. So we're going to go ahead and put a rag underneath here as we pull the tail light out for it to sit on. Go ahead and pull that assembly out, and we'll just stick the rag underneath to keep from scratching the bumper up while we unhook the lights inside. Alright, and in the back you're going to see all the lights for your reverse lights, brake lights, tail lights, the 2 Pontiac lights here on each side in the center here. Go ahead and remove each of these. They're pretty simple. You just basically squeeze these 2 clips and turn it. Now, if you're not familiar with doing this, you can go ahead and grab a piece of masking tape and mark a number on each one of these so you know what hole to place it back into when you're all done and ready to reassemble. We'll just demonstrate that one right here. You know how to do the rest. So we'll go ahead and remove all these plugs now. Again, just squeezing and turning, and each light will come right out. Those are the 2 lights for the Pontiac emblem when the car's running. And that's pretty much it. You've got the tail light out, and you can see here some of the, well, this one's not delaminated too bad. There's a little bit here in the lettering you can see. But we get to the other side, I'll show you just how bad these were delaminated. Once you get the tail lights out, you're going to want to go ahead and release these clips right here that are holding the clear lens faceplate to the backing of the tail light assembly. I can't stress enough to be extremely careful when removing these, as they are 30-plus-year-old plastic and they're very fragile and prone to breaking. But you'll see there's 3 on the top side of the lens, as well as 3 on the bottom side of the lens. So let's go ahead and start here, and we'll start with our first clip here, getting it worked loose. Again, just be extremely careful and delicate when removing these. You only want to pull it just far enough to release it to go ahead and pop it loose. There we go. We already did the other 5 clips here for on camera. As you take it apart now, you'll notice inside you've got the red diffuser for the Pontiac lettering when the key is on, as well as the tricolors for the different braking, reverse, and turn signals. And basically this is a pretty simple process. This just lifts right out of here. Now when you do this for the first time, there's probably going to be some adhesive and glues and things all over this, holding this together, which I've already removed just for on-camera purposes. But just clean this out a little bit, and you should be good to go. This one lifts out basically the same way. Just go ahead and pull up on it, and you'll see this one still has some of the adhesive I was talking about, and this stuff is really messy. So be careful not to get on anything. when you got your lights all disassembled here and set up on a workbench, you're either going to use some type of liquid adhesive in a tube, or we have what the factory used here, these strips. And you're going to take those out, and they are messy. But you're going to take them out basically and lay them in the channel right along here. And what that does is help seal and waterproof the tail light. All right, for the demonstration today, I'm not going to be putting the adhesive in this track here because that stuff is really messy, and I will be taking these apart here very shortly again. So basically putting it back together is pretty simple. You just take the back piece here and lay it down over the lens portion, lining up these clips on the side, and again being very careful where these clips go as not to break them when you put them in. You should hear a distinctive clicking sound when you start to pop them back into place. And again, be careful. You can kind of work them down a little bit, get the tail light lined up. It's not wanting to seat here. There we go. Just work your way around carefully and pop these clips in. Alright, I'm not too concerned about getting these all together because, like I said, this is pretty much for demonstration purposes today. But just work your way around very carefully and pop all those 6 clips back on. Alright, once we got these assembled back together, we're going to go back to the car with the new assembly and put the bulbs all back into place. If you mark them with the masking tape and marker, just line them up with the holes they go into. They just kind of line up, go into the hole, and then you push and turn to lock them into place. As you can see there. And you're going to do the same thing with the remaining bulbs here. There it went. Alrighty, and then on to the last one. And then we got our 2 Pontiac bulbs. Just an FYI, if you've ever considered changing to LED bulbs, now would be a great time to do that while you had everything disassembled. All right, pull that rag out, and we're just going to push this assembly back in again. And then we're going to get our long screws. Get one started here. And just go ahead and tighten these up. All right, now that we've got those tightened up, we can go ahead and have a look at our handiwork here. As you can see, just like brand new. And if you compare that with the other lens on the other side here, I know there's a lot of reflection, it's kind of hard to see, but you can just see how bad the cracking and the delamination is. And now you got the new lens. All right. Got that one done, and we can go ahead and do the other side. You're just going to basically follow the exact same procedure doing the other one. There's no sense in watching this entire process completely again, so we'll go ahead and speed this up right here. Alrighty, there we go. And now, after putting everything back together, I realize I've got a burnout taillight bulb. So I'm going to be taking that one back out again. But as you can see, it's a pretty simple, straightforward process. The only tools you need are a Phillips screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver. Hope you enjoyed watching this video.